Welcome to Faith Speaks, and I'm your host, Dick Patten, and it's a pleasure today to welcome you here at our Catholic radio station, WICX 102.7 FM, and here at the Immaculate Heart of Mary Church. And today I'm very pleased to have with me David Dale, and he's a parishioner here at Immaculate Heart of Mary. And come find out, David and I have a past, because I had met him, back in the early 70s. But back then, he was known as Brother David or Father David. And then, of course, how it happened was, I was at Crotched Mountain one day, and with somebody, visiting this lady's son, who was a patient there. And of course, I didn't know. I wasn't Catholic then, and I didn't know the difference or whatever. He'd come around talking to people, and I kept saying, "Oh brother," and of course they thought it was a joke. They were laughing because I didn't know any different. I was that's where I was. And so he came in, and we got talking, and then they came up to Concord. I invited him to come up and do the prayer for our Concord JC's banquet there, and he came up, and then I lost contact with him. And little did I realize that one day I don't even know how it got started, but he's living in Concord now. Now, he was from New York, remember, right, David?
I was born there.
Yeah.
Grew up in New Hampshire, but born in New York State.
Yes.
Very distinct, New York State.
Yeah, New York State. There you go. And I don't remember how it got started, but you said, "You don't remember me, do you?" or something. I said, "No, I don't think so," but you made the name David Dale. And I remember that because my grandfather's name was Dale. And we got talking, and I thought, "Oh my goodness, you were Father David or Brother David there." And of course, now you're married, and you decided that this was your life pathway now, was to have a family. And you had said you'd gone into service, and that's when you decided to pursue another career. So it's been good having you here and reminiscing, and you're such a joy. But how have things changed, David, for you, though? I mean, do you ever think about the days that when you were a priest or
a brother, actually?
A brother, yeah. What was the difference now?
A brother doesn't get holy orders as a priest, if not ordained.
Okay.
As a brother, I was considering going into the program, but as a brother, you take care of more of we're at the friary, take care of things like that, the functions of the friary and stuff like that, and other exterior, like helping the poor and stuff like that. Stuff like that.
Now, were you part of, was it the Capuchin?
Yes, Capuchin.
So then it was that. Okay, so Capuchin, yeah, order. Now, where are they from?
New York State.
It was, yes, okay.
Actually, we're in the town where I was born, actually, or spent my first 2 years.
Now, where was that?
Garrison.
Oh, really?
Garrison, New York, yeah.
Is that near Albany or Syracuse?
You know, you've heard of West Point Military Academy?
Yeah.
If you look on the east side of the Hudson River from there, that's where it is.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Garrison and Cold Spring right there.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful. Hudson Valley, beautiful here.
Ah, well, good. And do you feel like today now, as I watch you sometimes, I watch you a lot of times in church, but you've got this conviction, obviously, that I really feel like you'd made, because of the way you interact with people, you really would make a great priest, or a brother or whatever, even today, David. Have you thought about maybe sometime doing that again, or just...
Well, the diaconate, I guess, would be the only thing.
Yeah, becoming a deacon.
Right,
yeah,
becoming a deacon, but I need a little more prompting of the Spirit, I guess you could say.
Well, because too, it's a big responsibility.
It is, yeah.
It's a big responsibility, and I know that we've had several from this church who have shared their gift of that, and going through the process, and I think one just had to drop out. But it is a big responsibility. But like myself, back in the early 90s, I was thinking of that. I thought, boy, I really felt like I wanted to become one, a deacon. And I was working for a motor vehicle back then, and I was stationed in Epping, in Salem, and I used to see a lot of the retired priests. They'd come in for their license renewals or whatever, and there was one in particular that we took a liking to me, and we used to talk about it, what it entailed and all that, and I really felt a calling for that. My wife didn't, though. She didn't get a call for that, so I guess that was no way, Jose, and that was fine. But I do enjoy now the research part. I love the research part of it. Now, it's interesting. Mm-hmm. It's interesting, David, that all of a sudden now we're seeing more and more movies about Christ and about, there's one, I think, coming out, The Young Messiah or something.
Yeah, the new one. I just saw that advertised. Seems very interesting.
I know. But you can remember for a while, you wouldn't even think of having that on the big screen, let alone play Christmas music at Christmas time when they should. It's just amazing the turnaround now all of a sudden with this. And I think there's still another one. Isn't it He's Risen or something?
I saw that one.
You saw it?
Yeah.
How was it?
Excellent movie.
Was it good?
Yeah, excellent.
So what was your take on it? What was it about?
Well, basically it talked about the risen Christ, and when Christ came back to the apostles, it appeared to them in certain circumstances, and because the apostles at that time were at the low ebb of their lives, really, because they lost the Messiah, who was a very vibrant, and when you lose something like that and you don't have a foundation, really, to take someone really to take over. I know Peter was anointed to take over, but he kind of ran away from his responsibilities when he denied him. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So they had to rebuild. And I think when Christ came back in the room, the upper room, the Holy Spirit just came upon these people and convicted them to wake up, people. I'm still here, maybe in the spirit form, but I'm still here with you. And then Christ appears, which kind of, you could say, kind of shocked him a little.
Well, yeah,
shocked him back to reality.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
But I'll the rest of the movie, if you want to see, I'll let you see. I don't want to spoil it.
It's okay, because I'm not sure if I'll get there to see it, because I don't know nobody else in the family seems to want to go. Although Father Ray has said would like to go see it. I said, well, maybe I'll take him sometime. But it's just amazing how things have changed in the last few years, that they would show or make movies. Because last year there was a miniseries on TV, I think it was called AD, I think it was.
Yes.
And that was on for several weeks, and it was interesting. And then, of course, there was another movie too, and so, it's just amazing how they do that. But now we're in the season of Lent, and what's Lent mean to you, David?
I think Lent really means to me is a deeper look into myself too. Am I being a true Christian, being a true Catholic, whatever? And I do a lot of private time, quiet time, meditation. I think that's one of my pet things. I could even be sitting at work sometimes. I'm a one-man shop, so to speak.
Yep.
And, if I have a break or something, I'll just perhaps pull out the scriptures.
Yeah.
It's a verse that comes to me. I love the Psalms. I love Proverbs. Those are probably my favorite. And it kind of puts you into perspective. Because I think we ourselves, we have to be... I think we have to... really put Christ forefront, not just at Lent, but all year. Because I think I live and breathe Christ, really.
Really? Yeah.
I try to be. You know, we all fall short. I mean, we're all not necessarily saints.
Well, I don't know. No, but you really are very good with people, and you've got that special way about you, and I won't say it rubs off, but it does make you feel good to be in your company, and it just makes you understand things. But I know myself. I mean, I'm converted because I was Protestant when I was growing up, and I didn't convert till after I got married, and it was in '84. But in '85 is when I went to St. John's and spoke with a priest about changing over, and then I met you right after that was '84. No, I met you back in 74. Yeah, I guess it was
around 74.
Yeah, because the chapter gave up in 77, I think it was. It closed down, and I took the Christmas parade and the recognition awards with me to the Grange, and that's how come we've got them. But it was something that I really liked. But I was back when I converted over. It was interesting, and I think a lot of it had to do with. Actually, it was in '79, I think, when Pope John Paul was named Pope. That he really appealed. He was younger, and I really started to fall into it.
Yeah.
But since we switched over here to Immaculate Heart, I got into doing the Rosary, and I find myself, like you say, you have your meditating times or quiet times. I know I like going to Saturday's Mass at 4:30, and a lot of times I'll come over here way earlier than the wife and her sisters do, because I just like having that quiet time at 3:30 until they start with the Rosary at 4:00. And I stopped doing it because I've got some of my back problems, and I just, I fell off the altar there twice. On once I did. I had just finished the Rosary, and I guess I missed the first step, but boy, I went flying right into the piano. And so, that kind of scared me, and so then I did go back and do it again for a while, but, I just felt like maybe it just wasn't maybe the right time. But it gave me a whole new understanding about it, because I'd heard about the Rosary. And one day I bought a set of rosary beads. No, I didn't buy it. Somebody gave me one. But it had like 7 mysteries, and I didn't understand that. And some in the family said, "Oh, you must have got the wrong set or something." I said, "Well, these were given to me." Well, I don't know why there's 7 there, not 5.
I think I know the 7. It's a Franciscan rosary.
Oh, really?
It has 7 decades.
Yeah.
And it's there's a couple more that are in other ones, but the Franciscan rosary has 7 decades.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, who would have written those more too? I mean, is it just somebody who decided to add 2 more on, or did this come from Rome, or
Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps St. Francis could have even.
Yeah, because they don't say it at church here.
No.
They do the 5, and that's it. You don't hear the 7 at all. But I enjoy doing it with them, and I kind of miss doing it now when leading it. But I right now, the way my mobility is and stuff, it's not worth taking that chance. And sometimes, I'm trying to do other things, but people just don't pay attention. But, I just feel like it's a time. I think my favorite time is, I know I've said this before, is Advent. I love the Advent season. And of course, being maybe so much involved with Christmas and things, but I just enjoy the Advent time.
I think my biggest thing, I would like to expand on. One big thing I really like is I think, we as Christians, we can go the formalities. But I think formalities are good, but I think if we go beyond the formalities, and really, I think my biggest thing is having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You can go through all the formal things and not really mean what you're saying, but if you have that really relationship, these things all fall into place. That's how I've grown.
Sure.
And I think I've become stronger and more keen of things.
Yeah.
And
so, not to be inquisitive or nosy or whatever you want to call it, but David, what did your future wife think when she met you and you had said that you'd been at one time a brother or?
Well, 4 years. I met her 4 years after I left, joined the Air Force.
Yeah.
I was in Guam, stationed in Guam, and I met her father first, which is, I guess, maybe a good thing.
Yeah.
And I was with the Knights of Columbus then, too. So the council over in Guam I got involved with, too. So I went through the formality thing. So I guess that broke the ice because I was kind of one of them, so to speak.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay.
And and my personality, very, very open and very loving. And they like that. It's not like a typical...
Oh, I know.
I'm not saying all military people are that way, but sometimes the military people can be kind of crass at times.
They can be, yes, they can be, especially if they know you're not.
Yeah, but I just couldn't. I just had to be myself, and that's
right.
how I've always been. That's the way I always will be.
Well, that's the way to be.
Yeah.
I've always said I don't like artificial people.
Yeah.
I mean, when they put the put the airs on or whatever, I like somebody who's right down to earth.
Yeah.
And not afraid to say hello or whatever. And and when you come across someone who you've got to be this way or that way, that doesn't mean nothing. Mm-hmm. I want to see the real David. I want to talk to the David, the one who I can really adjust to, and that's nice. That's what makes it good. And like doing the show here and stuff. I mean, it's all still new to me. Mm-hmm. I haven't had any responses yet on those who are listening to this, if it's good or bad. But I know I've enjoyed the people I've met so far, and it's been very interesting. Because it's different from around town where I can laugh and joke. But on this one, I kind of have to be a little more serious at times. But still, I enjoy it, and I still have a lot of questions I could think of. But oh dear, is it? But I guess my biggest thing is trying to understand how. Like Jesus was on the cross and how he, people stood there and, he just died. And then supposedly 3 days later he goes to, is risen or something. And then, but yet it's not till 40 days later when they do ascension and he goes up to heaven. That's what I don't understand. Mm-hmm. So what they're seeing is basically a ghost, right?
Well, I guess that's what they thought it was initially.
Well, what was it then?
It was the Spirit of God, Jesus Christ, of course.
Yeah.
Some people, I don't know what they think, but I think he came back. God allowed his Son to come back to bring hope to a future of the church.
So are you saying maybe that when they put him in the tomb, mm-hmm. he really wasn't dead?
Well, technically he was humanly dead.
Yeah.
And we know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But on his rising from the dead, which that's another thing about the movie Risen, it talks about the ascension. And even one of the Roman soldiers converted to Christianity too.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think I remember reading that.
You'd have to see that. It's going to be an excellent movie.
I bet.
Yeah. Because he was the harshest of the harsh. He was one of the senior leader, military leaders, and he converted because what he saw.
Yeah.
His conviction.
Yeah. Wasn't that the one that was, I was trying to think, it was something like that the king or whatever it was had him dismissed or something. I can't remember. There was something about that. I remember reading that. But
he was dismissed and he was his top general, so
to
speak.
Yeah.
And he dismissed him because you can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm the god, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. But I remember him saying that, the next Easter and there again, I questioned, 3 days. Well, if he was on the cross on Good Friday, and where's your 3 days? Because Saturday, to me, Saturday's 1, Easter's 2, Sunday, where's the third one? But they count Friday as a day. And I thought, it doesn't make sense to me. But then they have Easter Monday, which then if you go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, then there's your 3 days. But they claim that you count it as Friday, on Good Friday. But I just do. I love reading the different books. I mean, the Rosary is like, I don't know, I've seen about several different versions of it in books and things. The Bible, same thing. I've gotten several. I've still got the first Bible that my grandmother got for me back when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Of course, that was when we went as kids to First Baptist Church for Sunday school. And then I have another one that I got from them, I think in 7th grade or something, for Christmas. They gave them out. And then, I don't know, somebody gave me a white one with a white cover there. And I still haven't figured out what the difference was. I think it's just a cover. Then my wife Deb, found one day, and it was like a King James version or something there. Then, of course, when I converted, I still got another one. It's like, it's crazy, but they are all a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, the King James version, as we know, is more of I wouldn't call it a romantic interpretation, but that's the diction of the people at the time was Old English.
Oh, really?
That's what they used. And to keep it that way, and that they've never changed. Certain groups will keep it always. But then you've had other interpretations which have been inspired by God.
Yeah.
They've been translated to more understandable English.
Sure. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
But I love the research part.
Yeah.
I've always said I'd love to go to Bethlehem sometime. Have you ever gone over to the Middle East at all?
I've been, I didn't make it to Israel, but of course I made it to Turkey and Saudi Arabia.
Really?
When I was over there.
Yeah.
Turkey was a little more acceptable, but in Saudi Arabia it was a little more strict. You couldn't really overtly profess your faith.
Really? I wonder why.
Well,
just not a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's the religion over there. They interpret the religion very strictly, and of course Mecca is there too.
Yeah.
So the only time that we were able to have a church is like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Probably everybody's mostly asleep or whatever. So
interesting.
We'd have our services.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. Turkey was a little different. Now it's changing too. Turkey's in turmoil right now, I think so.
Sure.
Because they had a constitutional democracy after World War I, and faith was not restricted, so to speak. But now there's things happening too, over even in Turkey, which keep praying for that too.
Oh yeah, I bet you did. Yeah, yeah. That's why I said I'd love to go to Bethlehem. I have no reason to go to Jerusalem. I'm sure it's nice. Bethlehem is where I would like to go. But there is so much turmoil over there that I just would be so afraid to go there. The Palestine and the kids and stuff. It just, It would just frighten me.
It's somewhat better than it was before. I'm not saying building a wall is a good thing. However, though, they built a wall and probably reduced the attacks.
Yeah.
Probably by 2/3.
Oh, really? That's good.
You still have them now, but it's not to the degree sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
To keep yourself safe and being surrounded by enemies, so to speak, as they say.
Oh, I know.
Unfortunately.
That's true. It's true, David. Well, we're coming to a close of the show, and it's been really a pleasure having you come on and share your faith with us and talk about, Faith Speaks and your version of what goes on in the church. And I just find I learn a lot from listening to people.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I thoroughly look forward to seeing you every Saturday. And when you're not there, I get kind of worried that things are all right, but but it is. It's been a good relationship, and I'm just so glad that we hooked up after all those years.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
It is.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, I hope you all have a great day as we continue in the Lent season and on our way to Easter. And again, this is Catholic Radio, WICX 102.7 FM. I'm your host, Dick Patten, for Faith Speaks. Have a great day. Blessing and prayers to everybody, and just thank God for another glorious day. That's all you can do. Thank you, David, for spending time with us today.
You're welcome.
And thank you to my director, Ian, for doing this, and we'll see you next time.